think it's the this way to do something that is on your mind, and you need to put it out. You have the technique and the body and all the things that are between the all the product, the music or the whatever you do, and your thought. So in between, the improvised music is taking out a lot of that part. I think it's the shortest way to have your thought out. The the more honest way to say it. Of course, there's always like a social statement, or to be against something, or to emphasize something. And improvised music is the way that people may understand the inner way, how can I say this, the truth. Because when you play and when you do something that you don't have to think twice, it's more honest. So it's honest from the inside of you. So it becomes more readable, more clear. It's not something that now I think society, it's a big problem of society is that things are thought. People think about things, and of course to gain, to have profit. And when you do without thinking, you don't profit always. You may do the mistakes, and it's all about the mistakes and the relation with the others that make the community. So it's about the freedom of language, the freedom of being yourself and be accepted, and do something in community that doesn't need to be already contaminated by the thinking, the profit. Well, yes, well, all started at home with my father and brother. My father used to play at home, and used to like jazz and not only old jazz, but new jazz. But then when I started to play, I started to play as a game. For me, it was like a game to go home, pick up the instrument, and to discover the sounds, and to do new things with the sounds. It's like the clay. I grab a piece of clay and I do something from my own. I never wanted to do an ashtray or something that was useful. I always tried to do something that I was not seeing. I was looking maybe for something that I was the only one to do it. Of course, I tried. I started with the scales, blah blah, but very soon I go off and find some phrases, some musical phrases, some ways to play the notes, some different ways to play one note, to the sound, to control the instrument, try to control the instrument as if it was not there. You see, to try to listen to the sounds and be able to reach those sounds in the instrument. And later I was in a play, a theater play, and the play was really nice with live music, and it stayed for a whole year. So it was a time that I felt. Well, the beginning was great. I was really, every night was different. It's true, but at the middle, like some months after, I started feeling feel the job. I don't know. I felt some days I didn't want to play and I had to, and that made me some discomfort. I remember to try to avoid. Uh, some years after, I was invited by Senegal for one of these to record a record, and from then on, yes, I really changed my way of not playing, but to think of my future in music. I decided to play that way for as long as I could, as I remember, and I never left the way I cannot say it's the improvised music per se, as it, uh, but the way you listen and the way uh, you present yourself as a musician. For me, it was not possible to be that crazy or something, but now it's true that I felt that this was a reality and it made sense, of course. Well, at that time I had also some lessons. I had Paulo Curado as a teacher, flute. I started with flute, and those times I learned how to read music and to play. The beginning, of course, um, but then it was enough for me to to understand that this was too rigid for me. I didn't want to go on practicing the notes because they really I think this idea is bringing you more information between what you think and what you want to do. So this was an obstacle, something that was in my way. I decided to go on with the, my, my, my way of playing. It's to find the sounds in the instrument and to play them as first thinking. A good question. I think it's the same question as for a friendship. Uh, in that matter, I think music or whatever, it's secondary. We do things to relate with people, and this is the way that it's not a tool, but I mean, it's more important the relations of people than the music itself for me. So the choice is a bit up to a lot of a big equation. It's a very complex equation. You don't have the rules. You forgot the rules. You just have to relate with the other person. If the other person starts with something that you were not expecting, you have to do something about it. Even if you don't like what he is doing, you can don't play. You can not play. It's a statement, it's a position. But and then you can play. But it's a whole new way of playing. So this relation is in music is the same as human relations, friendship relations, and in improvised music it's more open. It's not a treat. It's not like a contract. Um, it's weird if I go to someone and say, "Hey, look, you look great. You do this and you do that. I like what you do. Let's be friends." You don't make friends like that. I don't know. Maybe you do, or maybe people do. think that the movements, the artistic movements are the contemporary and the avant-garde movements are experimental, but uh, they are not experimental as soon as they exist. They already exist. There is something in people's minds that made them do it. So it's experimental for those that don't know what is to try to look for it. But for me, I think for musicians and for those who are already playing this kind of music, it's something that is already there, and it just needs to be well lived and carried on. The more and more you notice that it's going in the wrong way. The society and all the decisions that are made upon on the money schedule, the money issue, the possibility of doing things, just material things, and there's I think there's all arts in general are always trying to criticize and to point the errors and to disturb this tendency that people have to go after follow some idea, one idea, and it's difficult to explain, but this connection with politics, as it's not direct. I think this is improvised music. I think it's going in the future to teach or to show people that are not aware of this that it's a way to embrace life without without many thinking, too much thinking, or too much logical thinking.